Hi, my name is Srinivas. Welcome back to Interesting Stories. Today our topic is Johannes Kepler. Let's begin. Johannes Kepler was a German mathematician, astronomer, astrologer, and natural philosopher. Johannes Kepler is best known for defining his 3 laws of planetary motion. Johannes Kepler was influenced by 2 famous astronomers, Nicholas Copernicus and Tycho Brahe. Johannes Kepler was also influenced one famous scientist that we call today Sir Isaac Newton. Childhood. Johannes Kepler was born on December 27, 1571 in Wildeshausen, Germany. Johannes Kepler was actually born in the Roman Empire, but he had a German nationality. Johannes Kepler had 2 brothers and 1 sister. His parents were poor. His father worked as a mercenary. A mercenary fights in the army but is not part of the armed forces. A mercenary fights so they can earn money for their family. His father, Heinrich Kepler, left the family when Johannes Kepler was just 5 years old. Johannes Kepler's mother was Katharina Goldmann. She was a healer and herbalist. Johannes Kepler was said to have been sick and weakly as a child. Johannes Kepler was introduced or devoted to astronomy at a young age. When Johannes Kepler was 6 years old, he observed the Great Comet of 1577. When Johannes Kepler was 9 years old, he experienced another astronomical event, a lunar eclipse. But when Johannes Kepler was a child, he caught smallpox, which left him with weak hands and crippled vision. In 1589, Johannes Kepler's education was at the University of Tübingen and other universities. While Johannes Kepler was learning at the university, he was introduced to the work of Nicholas Copernicus, who thought of the solar system as a heliocentric one, meaning sun in the center, rather than a geocentric one, meaning earth in the center. Adulthood. In 1594, Johannes Kepler became the professor of mathematics and as well as a district mathematician. During his ample time, he continued to study more about astronomy and astrology. Back then, astronomy and astrology were the same thing. In 1595, Johannes Kepler married Barbara Müller. In 1596, Johannes Kepler published his first major astronomical writing called The First Public Defense of the Copernican System. This book explains that the sun is in the center of the solar system rather than the earth. Johannes Kepler wanted more detailed observations of the solar system, how planets orbit, and detailed notes of how planets orbit. So Johannes Kepler met Tycho Brahe. Tycho Brahe is a wealthy Danish nobleman, writer, and astronomer. Tycho Brahe is best known for his detailed models of the solar system, how planets orbit the sun, and their orbits. When in 1600, Johannes Kepler was invited to Tycho Brahe. Tycho Brahe invited Johannes Kepler to work for him. While Johannes Kepler worked for him, Tycho Brahe became suspicious and unwilling to share his notes with his assistant. Instead, he assigned Kepler with the mystery of Mars, which is one of the most perplexing problems in astronomy back then. When Tycho Brahe died in 1601, Johannes Kepler managed to acquire most of his detailed observations of the solar system before his family could use them for their financial benefit. Kepler's first law of planetary motion. Kepler's first law of planetary motion. The Martian problem, which took Kepler nearly 8 years to complete. Astronomers have long struggled to figure out why Mars made backwards loops across the night sky. This was hard to believe. Kepler But using Tycho Brahe's detailed observation, Kepler managed to know that planets orbit the sun in circles. Back then, Nicholas Copernicus, Tycho Brahe, and Galileo Galilei all believed that planets orbit around the sun in circular paths. But the data just didn't make sense and didn't prove the reason why Mars made backwards leaps in the sky. Instead, Johannes Kepler said the eclipse or flattened circle or oval works much better. This also proves the reason why Mars makes backwards loops in the night sky. So Kepler's second law of planetary motion says that all planets orbit the sun in elliptical orbits. So this is an elliptical orbit. And since elliptical orbits aren't perfect shapes, the sun isn't exactly in the middle too. And also this forms two different points. One point is the perihelion, or the closest point to the sun. This is where Mars or any other planet goes faster because of the sun's stronger gravitational pull and push. And there's another point called the aphelion, which is the farthest point from the sun. So that Mars or any other planet orbiting around the aphelion will go the slowest because of the distance away from the sun. Kepler's second law of planetary motion. Kepler's second law of planetary motion describes the speed and motion of the planet's elliptical orbit around the sun. Kepler didn't notice that Mars moves slower around the aphelion and faster at the perihelion. But he did notice it. He noticed that when Mars went close to the perihelion, he noticed that Mars went faster. But when he noticed that Mars went to the farthest point of the orbit or the aphelion, he noticed that it went slower. Thus, the speed of the planet will increase when it's near the perihelion because of the stronger gravity of the sun pulling it or pushing it, and it will go slower as it recedes away from the sun. Kepler published both his first and his second law of planetary motion, both in a book called Astronomia Nova. Astronomia Nova contained 10 years of his efforts trying to understand the orbit of Mars. He also used state-of-the-art facts and models of the solar system from his mentor and employer Tycho Brahe. In later life of Johannes Kepler. Even though Johannes Kepler is best known for defining his 3 laws of planetary motion, Johannes Kepler also made other important, useful contributions to science, philosophy, natural science, and mathematics. Johannes Kepler was the first to realize that refraction drives vision through the eyes. He explained how telescopes worked, and he understood the properties of reflection, or how things reflect on a mirror or on water. He claimed that gravity was caused by 2 bodies of matter rather than one. For example, if Earth was orbiting around the sun and the moon orbiting the Earth, the moon is what causes the tides on Earth is one example. Johannes Kepler also was the first to calculate when Jesus Christ was born and also the first to suggest the word satellite. He was also an inventor and made glasses for both the nearsighted and farsighted. Johannes Kepler died in 1630 in November 15, 1630 in Regensburg, Germany. Johannes Kepler lived to be 59 years old. Johannes Kepler made many contributions to science, philosophy, natural science, and physics, as well as mathematics. Johannes Kepler is a man of many wonders. Thank you.